beat Ryan Owens from St. Mary's 6-0, so we should have us a good match here tonight.
That Dannenberg-Otero match really surprised the people. We enjoyed watching Otero wrestle last year. Did an excellent job last year, but Dannenberg, wow, he was just phenomenal.
His only loss this year is to Engelberg from Beloit, who's a 4A wrestler. Jenkins has lost 2 to Mauser from Garden City and Tebin from Dodge City. Tebin was a state champion last year as a freshman for Dodge City, so he's lost some good people.
Jenkins in the St. Francis green, Dannenberg in the maroon from Osborne. 1:40 on the clock now, no score yet.
Dannenberg placed 4th 2 years ago and 6th last year. This is his 3rd year coming here, so both boys are what you might call veterans of the wars here, and they're trying to build it up again, add to their medal collection.
Well, if you have hype at this level, this match was really hyped up before we got here this evening during the break. A lot of the fans were really looking forward to this match.
And I hope their anticipation is well earned.
Well, it looks so. Looks like it will be so in the first period. Just a minute left and no score. These guys are very evenly matched so far.
Of course, Jenkins shot right off the whistle there, trying to catch the surprise and get the ankle, and Dannenberg is able to counter and get his ankles back, and he's got that cross arm lock, trying to go around behind. Jenkins is able to stop him. So here we go. Dannenberg's trying to get him stretched out there so he can go on around behind him. Of course, Jenkins is trying to keep in there on that leg so he can drive in for a double leg.
I don't think Dannenberg's able to lock up yet. Nope.
We're going to stalemate it and start him up again.
With 30 seconds left in the first period. No score. 130-pound weight class. Jenkins of St. Francis, Dannenberg of Osborne.
There goes Dannenberg around behind for the takedown. Just quickness was all that was. He caught Jenkins as he shot in, and before he could regain his balance, Dannenberg was around behind him and had the takedown.
Dannenberg draws first blood 2-0 now as we wind down the first period. Wow. Well, I think the anticipation was warranted. Great match. Very evenly matched. Very evenly matched wrestlers. As we get ready to start the second period, Dannenberg with a 2-point lead over Scott Jenkins of St. Francis. 2-0 the score.
Talked to Jenkins earlier. He plans to go on and wrestle in college, he said. He's been accepted to the Air Force Academy.
Is that right?
But he doesn't know if he's going to take that or not. So he should have a good college career ahead of him. And he's coming in there looking for that reversal. He's got Dannenberg had him at least a little bit off balance, but Dannenberg's able to maintain his balance on that leg ride and try to get across to split him.
1:35 on the clock. We're in the second period. Dannenberg has a 2-point lead now. He's in the top position in the maroon. Scott Jenkins from St. Francis in the green.
Probably going to see a stalemate here if something does happen pretty soon. See Mark Wallace coming in. He's talking to him. That usually indicates he's fixing to call something to start it over. Dannenberg's, there you go.
There we
calls
go.
A stalemate.
1:12 on the clock, second period. Jenkins will be in the down position. Dannenberg on top. Dannenberg's got a 2-point lead.
Jenkins does that sit out. He's trying for that Granby cradle. He's got it locked up. If he can just come up in the air with it and get him over backwards, but Dannenberg's getting straightened out parallel with him again, where it's going to be pretty difficult to do that. Now Jenkins is going to have to try to come up between his legs there and see if he can get some elevation under him. And as Dannenberg's trying to pull him over with that arm. They're kind of what they call interlocked here. Jenkins is close to the reversal. He can get his legs around and get loose there. He's got it.
There he
got it.
He's got the reversal with 30 seconds left in the second period. We're tied at 2. Jenkins in the top position now.
And Of course, Jenkins is no stranger to the legs because St. Francis is famous for their leg riding, and so that's not just an exclusive territory for Dannenberg.
Larry Gable, the coach from St. Francis. Mike Fruin, the coach of Osborne.
And Scott Jenkins' dad is the assistant coach there at St. Francis, so got a little interest, a little extra interest over there in the corner.
We're tied at 2 going into the third period.
Dannenberg's taken down, hoping he can get an escape or reversal and make that stand up.
You're watching another close match. We're in the 130-pound weight class now. Dannenberg in the maroon, Jenkins in the green. We're tied at 2.
Jenkins has gone into that leg ride, and of course Dannenberg's trying to suck that arm over the top so he can counteract it. We got another stalemate called.
1:46 on the clock. No points, tied at 2. Dannenberg again will be in the down position. Dannenberg tried to shoot out of there, get the quick points, but unable to do so. Jenkins keeps him wrapped up.
Yeah, these guys both of them know how to follow around and keep things wrapped up, so we could have our first overtime here, John.
1:20 on the clock. We're tied at 2. Another excellent match.
Jenkins got that hammer lock on, trying to use it to turn Dannenberg. Of course, Dannenberg's trying to come into it and keep Jenkins from getting the leverage that he needs to turn him. He's got his arms out now, and he's in pretty good shape.
Just a minute left. We may end in a tie here. Go into our overtime, rather. This would be the first overtime we've had since we've done this, isn't it? I don't remember ever going into an overtime.
Yeah, we had an overtime last year in the 189-pound final between Van Eaton and Hibbler.
That's right. 40 seconds left in the third period. We're tied at 2. You see the scoreboard there as the clock ticks down. Jenkins in the top position in the green. Dannenberg in the maroon.
We have Dannenberg
looking for some quick points.
Warning for stalling. And a lot of people don't quite like that. They feel like maybe the guy with the leg right in is stalling.
Just 20 seconds on the clock now.
We're down to 10. Unless something happens here, we're going to see an overtime, and that's going to be on the feet. Got a potentially dangerous situation there.
With 4 seconds on the clock, we're tied at 2. Dannenberg's going to look for a couple of quick points here to see if he can avoid the overtime. It doesn't look like it's going to happen.
No,
we're in overtime. Jenkins again trying to go for his third state championship. They get things started right away. We're in the fourth period, our first overtime here this year. We're tied at 2.
We're almost out of bounds. If he can get control before he gets his feet out of bounds there, they're going to give it to him, but
he does not. The crowd does not like it.
The only reason he didn't get that takedown is because he still had that whizzer lock in there, and he was not turned to the side far enough for the referees to give control. If he had been turned to the side a little bit more, he probably would have lost that, John.
1:25 on the clock, still tied at 2 in overtime.
Jenkins is going to try to lever that head down and then jump behind, but Dannenberg is looking for it. I don't know if we're going to have anybody get there at this point. Dannenberg looks like maybe he's getting tired. He's wrestling with that head down and trying to come out. And, of course, Jenkins is kind of in control there. But now he's coming back up to his feet and getting his head on top. So we're back to an even position again.
Now 50 seconds on the clock, tied at 2.
Dannenberg tried for his throw there. He evidently was running out of gas and knew it, so he figured he'd try one last time, and he gives up the takedown, and Scott Jenkins becomes a 3-time state champ.
Jenkins gets the 2 points, and he'll win 4-2. Scott Jenkins, a 3-time state championship.
And as they say on a popular beer ad, it doesn't get any better than this,
There
John.
you go.
They were given medals in the 125-pound class. At 125, Josh Lorenz from Harrington finished 6th. Shannon Wilson from St. Francis 5th. Kyle Lewis from Hoxie 4th. Craig Poe from Oakley 3rd. And of course, Chris Look from Stockton 2nd and Charlie Hewell from Lincoln 1st.
Here you'll see the Jenkins takedown to get the 2 points in overtime. Congratulations to Scott Jenkins, a 3-time state champion, senior from St. Francis. An overtime win over Jeff Dannenberg, a senior from Osborne.
I saw a flag over in the St. Francis section earlier, and that makes Scott Jenkins join 93 other individual state champions from St. Francis and 199 other individual place winners.
That's impressive.
Yes.
That gives those people here something to cheer about. As you look up into the stands here at Gross Memorial Coliseum, you see an awful lot of green. A lot of people made that trip from Northwest Kansas. And as I said earlier, we were supposed to get a pretty bad storm on Friday night and predicting a lot of rain and ice and what have you, but we've got full stands, a lot of people representing St. Francis. You're listening